is sports car road racing at its best. A demanding sport of trial and tribulations, heartbreak and elation, victory and defeat. Its ingredients are hard work and dedicated men working together as a team. There are no heroes, no prima donnas. Racing an automobile is a dangerous business. The drivers' very lives depend upon the highly skilled and trained crews. One man gets the checkered flag, but many share the victory. Sports cars, like prize fighters, compete in classes formed by engine size, and the cars are either production, generally those that might be driven to market on Saturday and raced on Sunday, or modified, machines built especially for competition. The Meister Brausers race in the modified big car or heavyweight division. They're gleaming blue speedsters with more than 400 horsepower, hurtling them at speeds of over 150 miles an hour, are familiar to thousands of race fans at road tracks all over the nation. If you want to risk the urge to convert the family buggy to a weekend racing machine, stay with us as we follow the men who race and maintain the Meister Brauser Racing cars, the men who form one of America's greatest sports car teams, a team pledged to racing American-built automobiles, ever ready to meet the challenge of the engineering genius and experience the factored Europeans. On race day, vital last-minute preparations must be made. Like the driver, the crew's enemy is time, even though months of building, testing, rebuilding, and retesting sometimes precedes this moment when the cars are called to the starting bid. The amount of gasoline taken on board is calculated to the fraction of a gallon, no more than absolutely necessary for the distance. The rules demand fuel of the same specifications offered at your neighborhood filling station. Why does a man race? Why do you play golf or tennis, ski, or you name it? It is man's heritage to compete, to excel. Sports car drivers strive to win, but never at the expense of sacrificing the machine. Drivers acknowledge a great debt to the cars, the crew, and the builders. Among America's greatest are Harry Heuer, steadily improving in national ranking, captain of the Meister Brausers. Augie Pabst, Heuer's teammate, perhaps one of the best drivers to come along in years. Dr. Dick Thompson, a veteran of both American and European road racing. Dave Cozy, Roger Penske, Ernie Erickson, Tossie Alex, Bob Holbert. They and many more with the same burning desire to win are competing today. For this is a national championship event at Meadowdale Raceway near Chicago. Meadowdale's 3 1/4 miles of tortuous turns and lightning-fast straights. Its celebrated Monza wall allow very little margin for error. It calls for the highest degree of cooperation between man and machine.
All right, all set for the feature event. In just a moment now, starter Jesse Coleman will move across the track, take up his position at the box, and ready to drop the green flag that gets the race officially underway. What a drag this is going to be with Dr. Dick Thompson, the famous Stingray, right down on the line. Augie Pabst in the famous Meister Brauser. And in that second row, Harry Heuer in the Meister Brauser. All right. Starter Jesse Coleman asking for the signal from the drivers that they're all ready. And there it goes. As they move off the line, that is Augie Pabst moving out like a bomb long straightaway, where they generate tremendous speed. But just a moment now, heading around into the turn, heading into the S's. It is still out in front, one Augie Pabst, but coming up very fast, Dr. Dick Thompson. Now coming up on the challenging Monza wall. Some of the cars have dropped back a bit in the grouping as they come around for the completion of lap number 1. It's still Augie Pabst by an air margin over Dr. Dick Thompson. Harry Heuer moving up very, very fast, as is Bob Holbert. You can see the tremendous lead that the leaders have already established on lap number 1. There is Dick Thompson out in front and definitely pulling away from the Meister Brauser, with Augie Pabst trying to challenge again, but you can see the superior acceleration of that number 11 is carrying him right out in front. The rest of the field dropping back, losing ground as the leaders definitely open up the gap. Now up on the Monza wall, you can see the bit of the movement of the car as it gets over that rough surface. Dick Thompson really pushing down on that throttle, and Augie Pabst fighting desperately to close the gap, to move up into a fighting challenge once again. Roger Penske in the famous Porsche RSK number 6. moving up. Here's Harry Heuer in the second of the Meister Brausers. Car number 2 moving down that straightaway. These boys are literally driving the wheels off their cars, and they fight for the number 1 spot now held by Dr. Dick Thompson at number 11, the Stingray. Right behind him is Augie Pabst in the first of the Meister Brausers, car number 1. Down that long straightaway, down the hill. Heading uphill now as they come into the very tight first turn, the very acute right-hand turn. There is Dave Gauzy, the Maserati, number 24, one of the very fast cars in this event. Johnson still holds that slight lead, but Augie Pabst in number 1, moving up on him. Here again is Ernie Erickson, number 27, the Porsche RSK, trying to move up. Now coming out into the S's once again. Number 11, Dick Thompson out in front, right behind him, Augie Pabst, the Meister Brauser number 1. Moving through the S's, he's moving, trying to challenge for the inside. We get a report from the far side. There was a bit of a shot that time as Pabst touched the back end of Thompson's Stingray. There was a little bit of damage done to one of the fenders on the Meister Brauser. There goes Roger Penske in the number 6. Wolbert still putting the pressure on number 2, Meister Brauser. We get a report from around the track that Augie Pabst has moved up into the number 1 spot, replacing number 11, Dick Thompson. He seems to be in a bit of difficulty. Our report from around the track is that he is slowing up very noticeably. Billy Reestoff and another giant killer, car number 77, the Porsche, doing a tremendous job here today. And here he comes, he's pulling into the pits. Dr. Dick Thompson into the pits, and that moves Roger Penske, the little giant killer, the Porsche, up into position number 2 in car number 6. And here is Harry Heuer. Heuer in trouble. They're checking the front end, the right front end of that car. Another car immediately alongside of him, forcing him into the wall. And that is the reason for the mandatory stop to check and see that everything is functioning properly. Dr. Dick Thompson. We understand he has been running into heating problems. Evidently, it's a flat seating system carried over from the bit of trouble that he experienced yesterday during the practice run. All right, here's our leader, Augie Pabst in the number 1, and he is really stretching that lead. And here comes the second place, Roger Penske, moving up in that number 6. He has really done a tremendous job in that Porsche here today. Pabst now doing a beautiful job. Notice the manner in which he sits back behind that wheel, very relaxed and sliding through the turn. But he has to keep that one eye glued to that rear view mirror to watch Penske, who is moving up. And Heuer again, back onto the track, is really fighting, trying to regain some of the positions that he lost. He is running 4th at the present time. Here's our current leader, Augie Pabst, a young man hailing from Milwaukee, who many predict will, in the very near future, emerge with a world championship in foreign car racing. Penske still stabbing that throttle, literally hurling the car around through the turn and down those long straightaways, trying desperately to move up. Here is the 3rd position, number 14, Bob Hobart, in another Porsche. And here is Dave Gauzy in the Maserati number 24. Always a definite threat. Don't discard this boy. Tossie Alex in the Jaguar number 9. Tossie back in the field at the present time. Heuer coming down the straightaway, coming up to the very tight right-hand turn. He too is driving tremendously hard. And there's the checker flag as Augie Pabst comes down that straightaway as the winner.
Man, look at that fender. Despite a high-speed brush that could have been fatal and a smack into the wall that necessitated a pit stop, the Meister Brauser team chalks up a 1st and a 4th in the fastest company in national sports car race circles. And now it's back to the never-ending striving for mechanical perfection. The Meister Brauser team maintains its own shop, equipped with precision tools and machines, with facilities to rebuild, if necessary, a complete car. After each race, the cars are disassembled. Every part is carefully checked and tested. No guesswork. The slightest variation from rigid specifications calls for replacement of the part. Many time lessons learned in the previous race are invaluable in preparing for the next. It is here that many a race is won. Just as the fighter trains for the particular style of his opponent, a race car is set up for a specific course, with such factors as track surface, number of turns, lengths of straightaways, and even elevation and climate taken into consideration. Like the engine, suspension, and steering, the body of a sports car calls for the utmost in skill and craftsmanship. As true champions, the Meister Brausers must defend their laurels at many different tracks during the season. The annual Labor Day Classic at beautiful Continental Divide Raceway, located in the foothills of Pikes Peak, presents a new challenge. The Diesel Duster is more than just a van to transport race cars. It is a complete shop on wheels, powered throughout by a permanently mounted Onan 1500-watt electric generator. This plant supplies all the power needed for lights, air compressor, battery charger, welding equipment, and the loading winch. Continental Divide is truly a complete racing plant, with a half-mile all-purpose oval, regulation paved drag strip, and a 2.5-mile road race circuit. Spectators, literally sitting on the side of a mountain, enjoy an unobstructed view of the entire course and see every thrilling moment of the race. Practice laps have indicated some necessary changes in spark plugs and jets. The crew springs into action, each man carrying out his assigned responsibility. The pit is a beehive of activity as again the race against time begins. Tires are measured for tread wear, proper pressure. Film crews mount an electrically driven sound camera on the Meister Brauser to record for the first time a driver's eye view of an actual race. This synchronous camera will reproduce an exact lap-for-lap record. It is not speeded up to create an illusion. The resulting scenes are authentic. The officials call the cars to the starting grid. The Meister Brauser team plans strategy for this is to be a challenge race, with Bob Carnes in his new Bocar Stiletto out to beat Harry Heuer in the Meister Brauser Scarab, holder of the Continental Divide track record. The fans are understandably hoping that Carnes, a Denverite, can unseat the champion. Paul and Adrian Wigton, husband and wife team, have entered a Silverstone Jaguar. Chuck Frederick, Golden Colorado ace, will drive an Allard Chevrolet. Hap Sharp, always a tough competitor, and his buddy Jim Hall have come up from Midland, Texas, with a Cooper Monaco tuned to perfection. Carnes and his crew have the Bocar Stiletto literally leaping. Its tremendous acceleration during practice laps brought gasps from the fans. The excitement carries even to the experienced occupants of the press box. And it seems that wherever there is an important race, there you will find a guy who has been calling these contests for more than 30 years. Former Indianapolis driver, America's foremost race announcer, Ed 20 Grand Steinbach.
Thank you, Alex. And now moving up onto the track in the Corvette, Sid Langston, the owner of the Continental Divide Raceways, has received the signal from the starter to move the cars up onto the starting positions on the grid. And what a tremendous race this should prove to be. Car number 65, driven by Bob Carnes of Denver, the Bocar Stiletto, is of course the favorite of the fans gathered here today. But most certainly, a thorn in the side of all drivers will be car number 62, the Meister Brauser, driven by Harry Heuer. All right, they're up on the grid. The starter asking for the show of hands, which means that they are all ready to get underway with the drop of that green flag. And there they go. Wow, look at that Bocar Stiletto accelerate. Without a doubt, one of the fastest accelerating cars in the world today. He is moving like a bomb. Heading down into turn number 1. Now moving up for turn number 2. Heuer really putting the pressure on. That was mighty close. Heuer tried to move through on the inside. but he couldn't take it away from the tremendous acceleration of that bull car. But now, look at these two leaders pulling away from the rest of the field. What a drive! There's the bull car still out in front. Carnes in the 65. Heuer immediately behind him in number 62, Meister Brauser. Again, putting that pressure on. About a yard separating. Heuer sitting back, well relaxed, and still driving with a heavy, heavy foot on that front. And here he comes. Harry Heuer takes it over now. Heuer out in front, literally out-braking and out-driving, going into the turn. Moving out. Now you can see the lead that he has established over the bull car at this point. Carnes unable to follow the line that is taken by the flying leader at this point. Heuer still holding that commanding lead. Carnes in the 65. Driving very hard, but unable to do a thing about it as Heuer continues to pull out the stops and moving out to a commanding, a very definite lead. The very beautiful Bocar Stiletto as he moves down the stretch, still trying to take up on the number 62, the leading car, but unable to do so at this point. And now coming up for the flag, here he's coming down that straightaway, and he is really moving, and there's the flag. Harry Heuer, the winner of a tremendous duel of speed here at Continental Divide today.
First in class and first overall. Again, Harry Heuer and the Meister Brauser team have met the challenge. But the roar of the crowd is unheard, for his ears are still ringing as he relives in his mind. And we take you back for the unsurpassed thrill of driving a champion.
Many men shared my ride today. The engineers, designers, the craftsmen who built this car, the mechanics and the pit crew, especially the pit crew, whose skill made this victory possible. This film is dedicated to one of them, whose invaluable contributions to auto racing, and particularly to the Meister Brauser Racing Team, will never be forgotten, the late Red Byron.